What's up? How you doing? Here I am with my daughter Amanda,
Hi.
and we're gonna try a beverage out today. So I don't know if you could see that. There. So Yorba Mate or Yerba Mate. It's a tea, not your traditional tea. It tastes different. I actually have it in leaf form, free form, but this one's already made for you. It's berry blue, organic, plant-based energy tea. It says 150 calories, and it has 1% juice. I guess the berry is 1%. So we're gonna give it a little try here.
That's a tiny bit. Oh, I was expecting it to be like white for some reason.
So here you go.
Pinkies up. I actually like this.
It's not bad. So it tastes pretty good with the berry. I've had it many times where it's the original flavor, and this tastes much better.
You forgot to do the pinkies up.
The what? Oh, sorry. So it's an energy drink, but it's natural. They don't add anything. It comes with the plant, Yorba Mate.
Did you say energy?
Yeah. Got a little machine here. I remember watching Lawrence Welk years ago, and he had a machine on the side, and he would play the tune.
Bubbles. They're like rainbow for some reason. Like it's like the coloring of like
Right.
the water has like an effect that makes it rainbow.
So anyway, I highly recommend this beverage.
Give me another cup.
Maybe if you're taking a trip somewhere and
I like it.
you don't want to have coffee, you can have some of this stuff. Also, we have Palmolive here.
I have the mini version.
Yes, this softens your hands while you do the dishes. This was actually my mother's brand. In the kitchen, this was always on the sink, on the side there. Never used a different brand. I don't know, somebody told her, only use this, you can't use anything else. Not even by accident did they buy a different brand. So I bought it, but it smells
It smells good.
yeah, it smells slightly different than the way I remembered it in the old days. It's almost like they took out something or they added something similar, but something different. But this is Ultra Palmolive.
So maybe different.
My father, when he would see the word Ultra, he thought it only belonged on gasoline because he used to buy Ultra gas from Sunoco, and he thought that Ultra was a gasoline word, you know, Ultra. And then he saw it one time on, I forget what it was, some kind of, I don't know if it was food or something. It had Ultra in the front. He shook his head. He's like, they're using gasoline words now. But Ultra can be used anywhere. It's not a gas word.
Ultraviolet light.
And that was my father's brand, Sunoco. Loved Sunoco. If he could drive, you know, somewhere to find Sunoco, he would go. You know, like Mobil, Shell, but Sunoco was up here and all the other ones were down here. The other ones were kind of like, I can't find Sunoco. I have to find another brand.
It's like if you're in the middle of the desert, like,
right.
I need this place. I'm sorry, car.
Right. And he would use the Ultra. I don't know why he used Ultra. My father had a station wagon. I think he thought Ultra was like high performance for the station wagon. Did not make any difference. Did not make any difference. You know, but yeah, he was big on even like I said before, another time. Even though they removed lead from gasoline, many years later he would still say unleaded. And the guy would say, you want regular? My father would be like, no, unleaded. I explained to him like 40 times that you don't need to say unleaded anymore. It's not the 70s anymore, you know. But he would always say, fill it up, or fill her up, some one word, unleaded.
What does unleaded mean?
No lead. And of course, if you had a young kid working, they didn't know what leaded was. So they only knew regular, fire department. I like that show 911.
Yeah.
Amanda, you like that show?
Yes, I love it. Whenever it comes out, I always ask Mama, when are we gonna watch it? Is it time yet? And Mama's like, it's like 8 o'clock or something. And I'm like, and it's like 6 o'clock or something. And I'm like, I have like 2 more hours. It's like they have like 911 regular. And I think that's gonna come back in the spring, which it is coming. And we right now have Lone Star, which we watched yesterday. We got to watch 2 episodes of it because last week on Monday we didn't get to watch it. And then, yeah, it was like about like a character's mom died, and they had to go to a plane ride, and the plane like did some weird malfunctioning thing, like one of the engines blew out. So that's why I like that show.
Really good show. It captures my attention. There are no zombies in there. There's no Star Wars nonsense. So, you know, I can actually watch this and not be forced to watch it. But I want to say Rob Lowe, he's been around a while, but the first time I saw him in a movie, me and my friends went to see this movie, Youngblood. I don't know if it was called Youngblood, but yeah, I think it was. And his name was Youngblood. It was about a hockey team, and it was a good movie. So that's my first introduction to Rob Lowe. I think it's Blow or Lowe, Lowe, or Blow, like Rob Blow. Yeah, this is better than I expected. I like I said, I actually make this in leaf form. I boil water, but I guess you have to add a little berry flavoring to get this
I'm good.
taste.
Okay, I think I drank it too fast and now I have hiccups.
So we got bubbles here.
There's like a specific glove that like its material can pick up bubbles. But when you touch them with your hands, they just disappear.
So when I see these bubbles, it reminds me of the Lawrence Welk show. You know, I remember a long time ago visiting my grandparents on a Sunday night, and we'd knock on the door, and the door would lead into the kitchen, so they would open up. My grandfather had like 18 locks. You'd hear them unwinding all the way down to the bottom, and then he'd close it, and he'd close half of them. But anyway, he had a bunch of locks on the door for
Safety
crime
reasons.
prevention, yeah. And the lights in the kitchen would be off, and there would be just that blue TV light, and it would be Lawrence Welk show. And my grandfather would say, "That's a good man." And my mother would say to him, "How do you know that?" And he would say, "You can tell." He had two good, always would say Ben Cartwright from Bonanza was a good man, and Lawrence Welk was a good man. So, yeah, and my grandfather was really good friends with a Puerto Rican auto parts store owner. He became friends with him, and I've said this story before, but there was a huge snowstorm one year. This is back in the late 60s. And my grandfather went to the supermarket, parked the car, went inside, and let this noise go by. Hawaii 5-0. So anyway, massive snowstorm. He had to go to the supermarket for something, and when he got out, the car was buried, and he couldn't get traction. He was reversing, the wheels were spinning, couldn't get out. And as the story goes, as he told me this story many times, he got a tap on the window, and he looked over, and there was a man with a parka jacket with the hood on and the fur going around. He said you could only see this much of his face.
Did he breathe?
And the guy didn't speak much English, and he let my grandfather understand with the hand language, get out of the car, let me do it. So my grandfather got out, and the guy, did his back and forth thing, got him out. And from that point on, my grandfather and this guy were like close friends. For many, many, many years, a few decades, they were friends. And so one day he calls me up, and he says, can you come over and help me do a tune-up on my car? He had a 1966 Cutlass. And I said, sure, I'll be over. So I went over there, and first thing we did is we got in that car and we drove to the auto parts store. And the second they saw each other, it was like two old friends that hadn't seen each other for years. They gave each other a hug and talking, and then my grandfather introduced me to this guy, so then I knew him. But then we got spark plugs and a whole bunch of filters and stuff, and went back to the house, which was around the corner, and I did the tune-up. So, but my grandfather and this guy that owned the auto parts store, really good friends, and always mentioned the story about how we got him out of that snowstorm parking lot. So anyway, that's that, and this is a good beverage. And this one here, Ultra Strength, it says it breaks up grease, softens hands while you do the dishes. Yeah, you don't want to have crusty hands, dry skin falling off. So, But I also recommend Dove. Dawn, sorry, Dove is for the body. That's a good one too, but Dawn. Dawn is the one when Alaska had that oil spill.
Yeah, and the ducks.
The ducks were cleaned with Dawn. Remove the grease right off them. I use Dawn. Good
I like
soap.
Dawn.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, we used this brand at the house. I mean, I didn't use it. My mother used this brand, and Ivory soap. 44 100ths pure. So we used that, and they never deviated. Occasionally, because I was a fan of Irish Spring, the soap, like those commercials, the Irish guy would have like a wool sweater on from Ireland and a cap, and then he would say that he's clean as a whistle, and had that whistle going there. But yeah, and then they had a knife in the commercial. They would cut into the Irish Spring, and it would have those little white lines and green lines in there, so to show you that it went straight through. But yeah, I used to use Irish Spring, and then Coast. Coast came out. I was a fan of Coast. What else? Of course, Ivory. And then there was a soap I used once or twice called Tone. It was like, I don't know what it was, like 50% cocoa butter. That was, if you had dry skin, you'd wash with that. It made you feel like you were all greased up. And let me think of another soap but I use Coast a lot. That was the one where they would, the commercial, the lady and the guy would take a sniff, and it would wake them up immediately. So I used that for a while. Like I know there's others that I've used. Oh, Dial. Dial was a popular soap. Grandpa soap. I use that, but they tell me it smells like what?
What is it?
What's Grandpa soap smell like? You know?
Is it what? I don't know.
Well, they tell me, they don't remember now, but they tell me that it smells like a campfire.
Oh yeah, that.
I like it. It's made out of pine tar. It's a very good soap.
That's why it's called pine tar.
Yeah.
Pine. That's why it smells.
And
like
it's an oldie. I don't know. It's like 100 years old, maybe more than 100.
Maybe 140. Maybe 200.
Yeah, so I've used that, and then shampoos. Pert was popular for a while. Prel, Wella Balsam, Breck. I'm a Breck. Told 2 friends, and then 2 friends told 2 friends, and so on. That's how stories get spread. Rumors. You know, somebody hears a false story and you got to tell somebody, and then that somebody tells another person. It's like playing that telephone game. Before you know it, the rumor takes a life of its own, and then the morons, not knowing that the rumor's not true, they go and they spread it. That's how rumors get legs. And then Silkians. Used to use Silkians once in a while. My father, Head and Shoulders. You know, I never noticed that he had dandruff. I just think that he thought that was the brand. He didn't know anything about what it was for. I think he liked the color or the smell. So always had Head and Shoulders in the house, but I didn't use that one. So yeah, the shampoo stuff, you know, it's all the same. You know, they have similar ingredients. Some of them do a little bit of biotin or something in there to get you to buy it. But I remember watching Johnny Carson, and he was fascinated with the marketing. He would mention it all the time about the repeat. So he would say, yeah, the shampoo companies, you know, it's pretty clever. He would say that they tell you to wash your hair, and then what do they say after that? Repeat. And he would mention that quite often. I remember I used to watch him a lot in the monologue. He would mention that. But it's true. You repeat. You kind of use it more often. But I don't really think you have to repeat unless you're a guy that crawls in the mud all day. Once is enough. So get the bubbles hit. So anyway, that's it. Like these bubbles. It's not that much. 16 ounces. Fluid ounces. That's it. We're done for now.
Okay. So this is yerba mate, and it's an energy drink. This flavor's berry blue, and I tried it just like a little bit of it, and it actually tastes really good. And it's inspired by the Amazon rainforest, which is actually really cool. So this is really good. I would suggest drinking this if you want to feel a big boost of energy. Yeah. So yeah, go try yerba mate. And I suggest you get the berry blue one.